Remember when everyone was talking about Humane AI Pin, a 700 wearable that promised to replace your smartphone, and they even raised $240 million in funding from Microsoft and even Sam Altman. But months later, when people actually got their hands on it, they were running into overheating issues, terrible battery life, and a product that barely worked, leaving most of them to return it. And by 2024, Human AI had sold everything to HP and shut it down. But the crazy part is, this is not just about one failed product. This pattern is now everywhere in the AI tech space. Most AI products launch with great demos, raise millions in funding, and eventually stop getting any better after their first version. In fact, according to PitchBook, nearly 40% of AI startups backed in 2022 had already shut down or pivoted by early 25. So what's going on and what's wrong here? Well, for people like myself who have built AI products, here's what I can tell you from my real life experience. The problem is not in AI models or technology. It's the system around it. And most builders get this wrong from day one. They think plugging GPT-4 or Claude into their application is the same as building a product. But that's just a starting point. Think like if you're opening a restaurant and have access to all the good ingredients, it doesn't mean you will automatically be successful. You still need to know how to cook, serve customers, handle complaints, and keep improving the recipe. AI products work exactly the same way. Having a good model gives you the raw capabilities, but you need the right systems around it that can actually learn and get better over time. And this is where most products break. They miss the feedback loop because most of them still run on a simple one-way flow. You ask AI the question, it gives the response, and that's about it. The conversation ends there. There's no loop to capture mistakes, learn from user feedback, or refine the model's behavior over time. So even as the users hit more edge cases or expect it to get smarter, the product just stays frozen at V1. Now let's add another layer to this, hallucination. OpenAI found that nearly 40% of AI-generated responses in healthcare-related tasks contain factual errors or hallucination, which is a big deal as a single wrong answer can literally put lives at risk. This happens because LLMs are fundamentally next word predictors. They don't really understand the facts or logics and can sound absolutely confident while still being completely wrong. And upgrading to a new or finer model won't fix that without proper control. The same issues will keep showing up. That's why even with the best one like Codex or Cursor, you need a control layer on top like retrieval systems, automated check-ins, and model context protocol to control how the AI interacts with external tools. So far, we have covered 2 points: feedback loops, having control layers. Now, reason 3, and this one kills most of the AI startups. Teams often fall in love with their technology instead of focusing on actual user product. I've experienced teams saying, we fine-tuned our model on 100,000 documentation and beat GPT-4 on benchmarks. Cool, but does that solve the problem? Because if it is not helping users to do something faster, hit the deadline, or complete a workflow, or even solve a particular problem, no one cares about how smart the model is. If you're trying to find the PMF, start by figuring out what's the job your user is hiring this AI to do. Not what you think the AI can do, but what they actually need done. It could be as simple as filling out tedious forms automatically or turning scattered nodes into client-ready deliverables. But you need to validate this earliest by shipping to real users and watching what they actually use. If your AI is just generating partial results or users need to do a lot of manual cleanup to get that value, you won't get retention. And without retention, we don't have any PMF, no matter how cool the AI sounds. So if you want, I can do a full video on how to figure out and validate a PMF specifically. So comment below and let me know. Now let's jump to reason number 4, relying too much on prompts. Prompting is a good starting point to get the model to behave a certain way, but it won't fix all product issues or quality at scale. For a product to actually scale and stay useful, relevant, it needs the fundamentals, like how it handles edge cases, how it keeps response consistency, and how it improves over time. That's where system design matters way more than prompts. And the big part of that is designing for edge cases. Whenever we are designing a product, we need to look for the worst case scenario and give users an interface that's easy to guide, correct, and trust the AI. For example, Copilot, Cursor, or Replit didn't win because of the perfect prompt. They work because of the systems that understand your code base, track your coding patterns, integrate with your development environment, and learns from how you work. And this brings us to the final piece that most AI products are missing: dedicated agents that actually learn and adapt. An agent is different from just calling an LLM. It plans actions, uses tools, tests outcomes, and improves over time. For example, a coding agent can generate a solution, run it against unit tests, and learn from failure. Or, for example, in customer support, it can track if the issue was resolved and improve how to handle similar cases next time. Agent can also learn from real user signals like thumbs up, corrections, or even passive behaviors like drop-offs or churn, and uses that data to get better. But very few AI products today are built that way. They stay stuck doing manual updates instead of creating agents that adapts automatically from real world use cases. So let's conclude this. At the end of the day, AI is not a product. It's just one part of the larger system. So if you want to build something that actually scales, focus on designing that system, one that can learn, improve, and deliver value in real world. That's what separates product which are surviving from the ones that are stalling after version 1. So if you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and let us know what we should be covering next.